Welcome, everybody. We made it back live again. Give everybody a little bit to get on board since we go live, and then it sends emails, notifications out. So don't want to jump into any content just yet. Got some new layouts here in my tool. This is exciting. Once again, we are live on YouTube, Kazi's YouTube, Kazi's Twitch stream, and live on Kick with Kazi's account, and on my personal LinkedIn account streaming live. So you should be able to chat across all of those platforms. You do need to know that LinkedIn's chat feature is a bit delayed with this. So if you ask and you don't see it pop up, just give it a minute. It'll show up and I'll get to it right away. But do be patient with LinkedIn Live. It's not as snappy as we would like. It's certainly not their forte. They're getting better at it, but they aren't like YouTube or Twitch or something like that, where that's who they are. So their tooling's getting better. But excited to be back with the old school stream. It's been years. So stream number 2, last stream, solid 30 minutes talking to myself. It's a new skill I've developed. Well, not new anymore. It was new back in the day. But for those of you that do show up, pop your questions into chat, or if there's anything, it doesn't even have to be a question. It could just be like, hey, talk about this or whatever. You know what to do. This isn't a new technology. We've all been here, done that before. It is Wednesday, which means Monday we had a new episode of the Metacast podcast. Yesterday, a newsletter came out for Leadership Lighthouse, my newsletter. And tomorrow, another Leadership Lighthouse newsletter will go out. Still working on the topic. I've got a couple ideas in my mind that I'm rolling around which one I want to invest in and spend the time to turn into content that I'm proud of, but got some options. So I'm happy about that. Other news in the content creation realm. I have a book in flight. Right now I'm working on how to incorporate beta readers because we iterate around here. So I would like to get feedback from my target audience early and often. So I'm figuring out the best tools to make that happen. There's a couple different options that I'm trying and see which one. The goal for me is to make sure that it's as easy as possible to collect the feedback from those of you, because that's ultimately what you want. You want it to be as easy as possible to get feedback from your customers. So that's what I'm trying to do. Second, I am launching a online live course. Excuse me. So I'm excited about that. I'm spending a lot of time getting that ready. I hope to launch the first cohort of that in early June, which is just a few weeks away. So got my head down trying to make that happen. But in the meantime, let's look at some Leadership Lighthouse topics of late. Most recent newsletter there was around professional development and how it is insanely lacking in the industry that I'm in. I can't speak to all, but I spend most of my time in the technology software world. And the number of peers and former coworkers, friends that I have that have reached out to me and are contemplating leaving their job because there's no support at all for their professional development. They feel like they're doing the best they can, and they are doing the best they can, but there's no additional support. Their direct manager, their department, their organization just isn't investing in people. So that's causing people to want to leave. So don't be that leader. Those of you that are tuning in, you can turn in if you want, but if you're tuning in, don't be that. So that, here we go. We'll paste the link in there if you've not read that. Not only are there, we don't just highlight the issues. There's a handful of excuses that we talk about that seem to be the most common. Here we go. So we highlight the most common excuses that managers and leaders have, and we debunk those. Just in the end, don't be lazy. I've never been anywhere. I've never been working at a company or working with a company where the professional development budget was ever enough. It was never enough. So if you're listening to this or watching this and you're hearing me talk about, oh, you have to invest in your people, and the first thing that comes to your mind is, I don't have the money, I don't have the budget, you're not alone. Everybody's in that seat. Everybody feels that same way. So what do? You have to get creative, because as soon as you create an environment where people feel like they're not growing towards whatever their career goals are, they're gone. Whether they're physically out the door or not, or at least mentally out the door. So you're gonna have to find a way. You have to get creative to help them feel as if they're progressing in all the ways they want to progress. Step one, talk to your people. Understand exactly where they want to go, what they want to do, who they want to become, what they want to focus on, whatever it may be. Just ask the question and then sit back and listen. I think you'll be surprised at what you get back from your team. I've been surprised many times. I've had assumptions going into those discussions multiple times that were proven to be wrong, and like 180 degrees wrong. I wasn't even in the right ballpark wrong. So that was an eye opener. And you know what? Then I could be a better boss and help them go do whatever it is. Even if it was just, I just want to write code for the rest of my life. Cool. How do I get as much off your plate to enable you to do that? Because that's the thing that makes you the happiest. But you don't know. You can't solve the problems you don't know about. So talk to your people, figure it out. Don't be lazy. Don't do it. All right. Let's go to another topic. Click on that and follow along. So why you're not growing as a leader? Ooh, man, this one hit home for me. Because so many of us, and I am very, very guilty of this as a leader, I put myself last. And historically, over the years, I viewed that as one of my strengths. It's a strength as a leader for a little bit, but over time, I stopped investing in myself. I didn't grow the way I needed to grow as a leader. So this is a bit of a call to action for everybody out there that is leading, that is a servant leader, that is really giving their team everything they have. You're going to have to create space for yourself, to give yourself the opportunity, space, and time to grow. Because otherwise, you're going to hit a ceiling. You're going to get frustrated. And you know what? You're serving your team. You're serving your team members by taking care of yourself, by growing as a leader. I tell you what, they're going to appreciate the heck out of it when you grow and get better at what you do. So even for those of us that have a hard time putting ourselves first, you can trick your mind into saying, I'm helping my team by making myself get better. So no excuses out there. And again, I'm guilty of this. So I'm right there with you if this one hits you in the heart a little bit. Okay. Do not forget, this is the Ask Me Anything. This is where you get your questions answered for free. You don't have to pay my hourly rate. or anything like that, you can put anything in the chat, reasonably, and I'll answer it, because my goal is to help you have a better afternoon, evening, tomorrow, whatever it might be, because there are not enough good leaders out there. So my goal with this stream every week is to just enable everybody to get that little bit of help that they need every week to come in and get some questions, some encouragement, whatever it might be, so that you can go off and lead your team even more effectively and grow as a leader. We just talked about that. So this is you doing a little, hey, I'm taking care of myself thing. So pat yourself on the back for being here, because you're working on growing as a leader. So nice job. Well done. And as a reminder, if you are watching on LinkedIn Live and you do put something in the chat, give it a minute. It takes a little while to propagate over here, but I'll get it eventually. So don't expect to have a live, back and forth chat via LinkedIn. If you want to do that, jump over to any of the other options: YouTube, Twitch, or Kick. It'd be interesting to see if we get anybody on Kick. It's pretty darn new. I just stream there just because it's the next new thing. I feel obligated to be there, but all the accounts should be Kazi_IO across the board. So just search for that in YouTube, Twitch, or Kick, and you'll find us live. Maybe you'll learn a new technology. Hey, it's cool. It's fun. So I remember when I started this long time ago. It's my friend, Jamie. Long time no see. Very happy to be back, to be able to get these streams going again and be able to chat with you. Well, so the question is, I can boom, highlight this from longtime viewer, chatter, Jamie Collins in, I'm going to pronounce it incorrectly, but I'm going to try, Devonshire. Hopefully I nailed that. One of the things, so I'm working on a book, and it's interesting because I use the term leader consistently. And my co-author and I were working through, when we were researching competitive books that are out there. There's some pretty amazing tools for doing this. And I more frequently found books that were aligning with the approach that we were trying to take when searching on the term manager. You search on the term leader, and you just got different books, which was kind of disheartening to me, because I believe, very similar to what Jamie's saying here, is that you manage things. You manage a budget. You manage your schedule. You manage work, a schedule, things like that. But people aren't things to be managed. They are things to be led. Things is the wrong term there. They are people to be led. And that's why, it'll be interesting to see how we go with the title of the book and everything that goes into that. But I firmly believe that when you use the term manage, and it's probably because the first leadership role many people get has the label manager. So you get into that phrasing within Amazon and other books like that. But again, you manage things. You don't manage people. You lead people. People need inspiration. People need a vision, a mission, something to latch on to. When you do that, Jamie, I know you get this compounding value over time as they bring their unique knowledge and experience to the game and to the table, and accelerate you and your team's capability to go attack whatever problem, whatever mission that you may have. So how do you get your boss to get you away from managing to leading? Well, you don't. But that doesn't mean you don't lead. There are going to be operational things that you have to do within an organization where you need to do management type stuff. Cool. Execute that. But that doesn't define who you are as a leader. You lead, you do your thing. You be the leader you want to be. You be the leader you aspire to be, the leader you aspire to have. Everything in every job isn't always perfect. There's always going to be stuff over here that you have to do. So you'll have to do the management stuff, but don't let that define you. That's the never-ending battle that you're going to have in a corporate world until you can be the boss and run your own business and really define the culture around leadership versus management. You're going to be in an environment where that's a never-ending battle. So do the things you need to do, but don't let that be that be the driver of who you become. Don't let it be the thing that makes you into a manager versus the leader that you aspire to be. Bob and I have talked in previous episodes about not letting yourself get pickled. You're in an environment, you're in a culture, and it's really hard. Like I understand the things I'm saying, like, oh, well, do this, but don't let that shape you. That's a really difficult thing to do. I've found myself pickled in the past, and man, was I frustrated when I figured it out. But if you have those core values in who you aspire to be as that leader, you're going to be able to fight the pickling. You're going to be able to fight that salt and whatever flavors go into the pickling process. I don't like pickled things, so I'm not an expert, but I think people they understand the metaphor or the analogy or whatever that is that I just use. I never get those right. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, difficult thing, but you're going to have to be the one. Yes, we are. Okay, so question for you, Jamie. I follow English football reasonably well. And I really enjoy when they're in smaller stadiums. So they're in some of the smaller clubs. I think you've told me in the past what your local team is. And is it Ipswich? Because if so, congrats on the promotion. Let me look this up. I should have looked it up before I just asked you. But, I'll trust you sooner. Oh, that's in Suffolk. Yeah, that's probably not you guys, huh? Yeah, I don't know who that is. You're going to have to tell me. You're going to have to educate me. Okay, it's a metaphor. Thank you for correcting me. I will endeavor to always use the term metaphor in that. So yes, it's difficult. Let's see what else. What else can spark a discussion here? Good previous. Oh, we'll ask the question here about books that influenced you, that changed you, that have shaped who you've become as a leader. So I'm sharing in the chat a link to an article I wrote. Whoa, Wales. Holy cow. All right. All rugby, huh? That's another interesting sport. I don't follow. I'm aware of it. I don't follow. I'm learning more about cricket, though. My oldest son seems to really enjoy cricket, so spending some more time learning that. But yes, as I'm writing a book, I've been reflecting on the books that have affected me, helped me understand who I am as a leader. And a key one there is, let's see, I'll get a link to it. Turn the ship around. So the turn the ship around one, what I really valued coming out of that, or as I was reading it, was that there are, I think actions is strong, but there are very thought-provoking questions. Sometimes there's actions at the end of each chapter that allow that for me provided me with the challenge. Hit the pause button and think about how I should be applying what I just read to my team, my company, myself. And a lot of other books don't go that route. So I would just, move on to the next chapter. Okay, cool. Next chapter. This one does a really good job of forcing me. It's very effective for me. Maybe others do it intrinsically, and I should start doing that with all the other books that I read. But it does a really good job of pausing and saying, "Hey, think about this. How would you answer this for yourself or your team?" So I value that tremendously. So in the book that I'm working on, every chapter is going to have a action of some sort, whether it's a set or series of questions or homework effectively for you to put the book down, think through, go do that, and come back and be ready to move on to the next chapter. Doesn't mean you have to do it as a part of the next chapter, but those take-home things have really struck a chord with me. So if there's anything like that you guys have seen in books that you read that were differentiators that made a difference, let me know. I'd like to check those books out and see if it's something I want to incorporate into mine. But definitely be on the lookout. I'll be reaching out to folks to become beta readers, and we're going to do it early and often. We have first draft of the introduction done, so that was exciting. First pages have been written. Definitely a lot of refinement there. Going to be looking at round 2 of that tomorrow. I'm doing a bunch of prep work on the first chapter, the first official chapter. I guess introduction counts. So, but yeah, I definitely want to get feedback sooner rather than later. Going to treat it like a product because that's what I do. That seems to be the most beneficial. So that's what we'll do. Just got to find the right tool. I want to make it easy on people. And I'm not going to get fired up and decide to build my own because I have issues. I tend to do that. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to force myself to not do that. Let's see. Other things that are going on. Talked about the book. Talked about courses on the product side of the house because I've become a bit of a product guy. So I've got something I'm spinning up there. Lastly, I am launching a monthly coaching as a service subscription model. So I'm working with a customer right now. I'm winding down my time there, and we have a good thing going. And we wanted to just continue that. So something lighter, especially on their bank account, where I'm not charging on an hourly basis, billing them every week. So this will be a monthly fee. And with that, we'll kick it off again. Big surprise here. We'll kick it off just like a product. We'll build a bit of a backlog for whatever you want to focus on, be it yourself, your leadership style, your approach, your team. It could be just some operational bits within your organization, whatever is most effective for you that I can be of help with. So we'll build that backlog. We'll map out a bit of a roadmap of, hey, these are the things we want to hit. And then every month we'll spend an hour together talking through the previous month of how we progress the things that we tried, and then queue things up for the following month. It's very similar to the approach I take with one-on-ones to all of my members within my team. So I'm just applying that now on a virtual basis. With that will be free subscription to Leadership Lighthouse. We are gonna trying to decide if I create a new Slack or if we dig back into Discord. Probably Discord. I think the integrations are too strong there. I might create a new one for that, where we'll have a private room for all the members of that organization that are signed up as a part of this. So we'll have that. So you can ask me a question 24/7. So you aren't going to be relegated to just that one hour once a month. We'll have the full chat capability, so that as things are going along, based on as we talked, we queued things up for the next month. Hey, this is what we're going to tackle. Something might come up, a curveball that we weren't expecting, and you want to jump back in, you can hit me up in chat, and then we'll sort through it and maybe stay the course, make some adjustments, whatever it is. So that'll be open 24/7. So I'm looking forward to that. Working on pricing, trying to nail that down. I don't think I can get it below $500 a month, but we'll see. We'll see and what my options are there. So again, love feedback on that. Of dear Lord, Josh, $500. There's no way I can make that happen. My goal is to, per person, see if I can get it to a place where it's expensible without approval. Because we do know that training budgets are not as healthy as we would like them to be across the board. So this would certainly be something that would be expensible as professional development, or you can talk to your boss, and maybe there is a bit of a budget. It's relatively small, but this is at least something that you can invest in. So again, would love feedback on that. I hope to be rolling that out like next week. So that'll be there. Trying to get all the final bits and pieces there. But again, you don't need to be a part of that to ask me questions. You can ask me questions anytime. In fact, you can do it every Wednesday right here. Like Jamie. Everybody be like Jamie. He's the one setting the bar. He's been setting it for years. And he continues to set it. I'm glad you showed up. I tried to pick a time that I thought would be good for folks on the East Coast, folks on the West Coast, and for folks like Jamie across the ocean. This would be a good, hopefully not too late, not interrupting with dinner or supper, whatever you call it in Wales. So yeah. So hopefully this lands with everybody. That's the goal. Trying to reach as many people as possible. All right. Well, hey, we're half hour in. It's just Jamie and I. But that's 1,000,000% more than last time. 1 week ago, it was just me. Now it's Jamie and me here. So we'll shut it down in 2 minutes, and then we'll get ready for next week. So Jamie, as always, thanks for being the man, popping in, saying hello, having a question, getting a little dialogue going. Always appreciated. And I wish you best of luck with the challenge you have going on there. So fight like you can, my friend. Like I know you will, but also I know it's difficult. So give yourself a little bit of grace. You're gonna stub your toe, maybe fall into the manager pickling mode a little bit, but you'll discover that. You'll dust yourself off and get back into being the leader that you want to be. So keep fighting the good fight. So with that, I thank you all. I thank Jamie. And we will see you next week. Who's going to be the one geez, let me start that over. I really fumbled that one. Who is going to be the one that joins Jamie? No one's going to be able to break his streak. He's now going to have the longest streak of being here. So you're going to have to play catch up and maybe hope he goes on vacation. Until then, we'll see you next week. Jamie, take care of yourself. and I will see you all next week. See ya.